award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. Hey, we're glad you're tuning in. I'm excited about today's show. It's going to be a fun one. We've got a special guest, Liz Moriondo. She's a singer, a guitarist, a songwriter, a dreamer, and as her website says, but we're excited to have her today. She's going to share a few songs, talk about being in the outdoors, and it's going to be fun. I got Mr. Don King here to help shuffle the cards around the poker table.
Yes, sir, Jason. Thanks for dealing me in around the Wildcast poker table this morning. I'm excited about the show with Liz here.
Yeah.
Great to have you, Liz.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
Liz is a native from Missouri, and she now lives in Nashville. Been here a while. We'll get into all that, but she writes and plays and loves to be outside, be in the outdoors. Fisherman and a hunter, so it's going to be a fun conversation today. We're glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
I think we're going to start it off with a song and let her share one of her songs that has been really big on the internet. It's got over 12 million views across YouTube
12 million. That's
and
awesome.
Facebook, so that's crazy. That's
Thank
better
you.
than Wildcast. Maybe
Just a little bit. Yeah.
maybe she could help us share the show.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been very blessed with this song, and I'm really proud of it. I never dreamed whenever I recorded it with a ukulele in the kitchen that it was going to go viral, but here we are.
And what a great introduction to this show.
Exactly.
And the outdoors. You know, it's funny how the web can make those connections, you know, and we were, I guess we were perusing the web and saw you on YouTube and thought, oh, man, we need to have her on the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm glad you did.
So we are going to hear this song from Liz, All About That Bass.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, on minnows. I'm all about that bass, on minnows. I'm all about that bass, on minnows. I'm all about that bass. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I shop at Bass Pro, and I can catch 'em with my Series 2 rod combo. I got that splish splash that all the boys want. All the right bait in all the right places. I see them other stars, they're trying to keep up. Bass Pro gon' bowl 'em over, just go ask Uncle Buck. If you a country girl, just raise 'em up, 'cause even females like to fish and even girls like to go hunting. Mama, she bought me my first fishing pole and line. Bop, bop, ah-ooh, bop, bop. She said, boys like a girl who can outfish 'em anytime. Bop, bop, ah-ooh, bop, bop. No, I won't be no girly girl manicured Barbie doll. Bop, bop, ah-ooh, bop, bop. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move along. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no minnows. I'm all about that bass, no minnows. I'm all about that bass, no minnows. I'm all about that bass. I'm bringing camo back. Go ahead and tell them city women that. No, I'm just playing. I know they think we trash. I'm here to tell you, even females like to fish and even girls like to go hunting. Mama, she bought me my first fishing pole and line. Bop, bop, ah-ooh, bop, bop. She said, boys like a girl who can outfish 'em anytime. Bop, bop, ah-ooh, bop. No, I won't be no girly girl manicured Barbie doll. Bop, bop, ah-ooh. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move along. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no minnows. I'm all about that bass, no minnows. I'm all about that bass, no minnows. I'm all about that bass, about that bass.
All right.
That was great.
Thank you.
That was great. Oh man! So what inspired that? What made you want to do that song and write that parody?
Well, I got the idea from the CMA Awards. I was watching the CMAs, and Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood were hosting.
Okay.
And Meghan Trainor had just come out with her song All About That Bass.
Mm-hmm.
She performed it on the show, and afterwards Brad Paisley made the joke, Megan, don't you know that if you're going to be in country music, it's not all about that bass, it's all about that bass.
Bingo.
And I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to write this right now before somebody else gets
Somebody
a hold of
else
it and
does.
does it. And I was down at the Frank Brown Songwriters Festival in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I had a day off when I wasn't playing, and I just went in my room and shut the door, and I spent about 30 minutes. I wrote it. I was going to school at Belmont University at the time, and I wrote it on the back of my religion syllabus. And I said it was divine intervention because I was writing it on the back of my religion syllabus, and then it went viral.
Oh wow, that's cool. And I like the line, "I'm no girly girl," and
Yeah.
that's true, right? You
That
love the
is
outdoors.
true. I have no nails, and they are definitely not painted, and usually they've got dirt and grime underneath them because I'm always doing something outside.
Yeah. So tell us about that. Tell us about how you grew up and what you enjoy doing outdoors. You know, you like to fish. That's probably one of your biggest things. But just tell us about growing up in the outdoors and who introduced you to all that.
Sure. Well, I grew up in the Ozark Mountains in southwest Missouri, a little teeny tiny town of 4,000 people. My parents have a turf and cattle farm.
Okay.
So I always grew up around that, and my brothers are still very heavily involved with the farm and everything. I'm the black sheep that moved away to Nashville and ran off, but I'm very true to my roots, and I love where I'm from. And my brothers were always very avid hunters growing up, and so I would go out a lot of times with them. I didn't get as much into the hunting until 6 or 7 years ago, but we always fished together as a family. The five of us, my mom and dad and me and my brothers, we would fish a lot. And so I grew up doing that and just really enjoying being in the outdoors as a family. And I feel like you build a lot of great family bonds that way, just being in God's creation and spending time and not being on the cell phone or on the computer or watching TV or you're interacting with each other. And it's
Plenty
important.
of time to talk and just talk about life a lot of times. don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they think we're just fishing. What is that, Trace Adkins? Love that song.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing what the outdoors, the therapy outdoors can bring, and just being with the ones you love and catching fish and watching the animals run around and all kinds of stuff. It's amazing.
100%.
Yeah. And so you've been on a few hunting shows and doing some things like that. Tell us about Moriondo Mondays.
So this is my latest series. Every Monday at 8 a.m., I go live on Southern Boys Outdoors Facebook page and my Facebook page. We run them together on Mondays at 8 a.m. But I started a partnership with Southern Boys a year ago. I'm actually getting ready to do my 52nd
Wow.
Moriondo Monday. So they will have officially been going on for a year now.
Cool.
And Southern Boys found me when I did my All About That Bass parody, and it went viral. And they were a huge, huge, huge part of making that video go viral. And I'm very grateful to them. And I just ended up developing a relationship with Kenyon and Tanya Bankston, who are, in charge of that and started all that. And so we came up with this Moriondo Mondays idea, and we've been using it as a platform, and I've been really pleased with it. It's a lot of fun.
Neat.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
That's great. And then you talk about Jimmy Sites. He's one of the hosts of Hunt Channel's Spiritual Outdoor Adventures, and he said you said he was the one that took you hunting for the first time, or you killed your first deer with him.
He's the one I
right?
killed my first deer with. Yeah, so I've been out in the woods spending time doing that for a while, but never actually went out and killed my own buck until I think it was 2013, 2014. Gosh, time gets away from us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, he took me out, and we actually videoed it for his show, Spiritual Outdoor Adventures, and it was just really cool that was my first time killing a buck in Tennessee on a TV show. So I feel very, very grateful. I know not many people can say that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. My first turkey was we filmed that hunt, and that was cool to have that on camera. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's neat. So tell us about growing up in Missouri. I know we hit on it a little bit, but what else did you do while you were in Missouri? always outside or working on the farm? But what else did you get into when you were growing up?
Well, I always played sports. Basketball was really my go-to. That's what I was really, really dedicated to and focused on. And for 9 years, I played basketball year-round. I mean, we just traveled all year round. Wow. And I ended up getting a college basketball scholarship to Drury University in Springfield. It's a Division II NCAA school. And played there for a year and went to Lake of the Ozarks one summer to watch a band perform. And I'd been performing locally, just with karaoke tracks or singing the national anthem, nothing big or fancy. And I actually got to get up that night and perform with the band. And I had never done that with a whole band. And I remember coming back home that night, and it was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke my mom up, and I'm like, I'm home, and also, I'm not playing basketball next year. I'm moving to Nashville. I think she probably thought she was having a nightmare or something. I don't know.
Wow.
No, but my parents have been incredibly supportive. I mean, it was definitely one of the most difficult decisions I've had to make to, give up a scholarship to move out here. But they've always really believed in my music, my mom and dad both, and believe that I've been given a gift and that this is a great place for me to be able to share that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great that you got that support. We were talking before the show, you wrote a song about your mom. You want to share that one?
I did. Sure. I would love to.
I think that'd be a good transition.
Yeah. So this was my most recent single, and for the first time we put it out to radio, and I was very, very pleased with it. But we also did a music video for it. So if you head over to my YouTube channel, you can check out the music video for You Made Me.
Awesome.
When you said nothing good happens after midnight, I stayed out just to see if you were right. And you were right. I made that call, you came and picked me up, spilled into the car, and you gave me that look, half proud and half disappointed. Begged you not to tell Dad about it, but you made me. Yeah, you made me. Sometimes I open up my mouth and I hear your voice cutting through the doubt and the empty noise. Choice I make, and every step I take, you name me and you raise me. You don't know how much it meant when you praise me. I'm out here on my own, but I'm never alone. Gonna be okay because of the way you made me. Taught me when to tell the truth, when to tell a white lie. Bought me a Ford, taught me how to drive. Let me be a kid till I wasn't anymore. You gave me roots, but you let me soar, and it changed me. Yeah, it changed me for good. Sometimes I open up my mouth and I hear your voice cutting through the doubt and the empty noise. Every choice I make, every step I take, you name me and you raise me. You don't know how much it meant when you praise me. I'm out here on my own, but I'm never alone. Gonna be okay because of the way you made me. Ooh. Sometimes I open up my mouth and I hear your voice cutting through the doubt and the empty noise. Every choice I make, in every step I take, you name me and you raise me. You don't know how much it meant when you praise me. I'm out here on my own, but I'm never alone. Gonna be okay because of the way you made me. Whoa, you made me.
All right.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
And speaking of family, there's a song like that will introduce you really quickly to a lot of the family in the music business in Nashville, for sure. And tell us a little bit about some of the connections and friendships you've made, business-wise in town.
Sure. Well, I mean, Nashville is just teeming with
It is.
talented people. I mean, when I first moved here, I remember feeling very overwhelmed, and you meet new people. Even today, like you just meet tons and tons of new people every single time you go out. But I think the key for me has always been to find my core group that I just really gel with and mesh with. And so one of my favorite writers in town is Steve Mitchell. He's a Canadian guy, and he's one of the first ones I started writing with when I moved here, and still my favorite person to write with in town. We've written a lot of songs together, including You Made Me. And he's definitely been one of my favorites that I've gotten to work with. As far as some of the big hit songwriters out there. Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot here. I've had the opportunity to write with some people like Will Rambo, who had some hits a few years ago, and Mark Allen Barnett, Anthony Smith. He's had some Chris Young hits, and so just getting out there and being a part of the scene and kind of finding your group.
We see your you've got some Puckett's gigs coming up here.
I do, yeah. So this Wednesday, what is that? September? Listen, I can't
18th,
even.
I believe it was.
Y'all, I'm losing track of my days here.
Yeah, if you want to catch Liz, she's got a calendar, a tour calendar on her website, lizmoriondo.com.
Got plenty of opportunity out there.
She's going to be all over the place, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Missouri.
Yeah, I play at Puckett's quite a bit, though. If you're in Nashville, definitely check the Puckett's calendar because I play there quite regularly. Yeah. So it's a fun one. It's a great place to eat, too. So. Dinner and a show.
Great food, great place to play, good atmosphere. Tell us, speaking of songwriters, but outside of that, some of the artists. Have you teamed up with any artists or had a chance to meet any of these bigger names and had a chance to be on stage with them or anything like that?
Yeah, so I have had the opportunity to open up for some pretty big names, which I've been very grateful for. Probably some of the biggest that I've gotten to open up for would be Tim McGraw, Big and Rich, One Republic, oddly enough, Train. Cool. So it's been interesting. I've been very blessed. Lee Bryce, Sarah Evans, some people like that. So it's been an interesting ride.
Great.
That's awesome. I'm sure you learn a lot, and just to be able to play on those bigger stages and prepare you for all kinds of stuff down the road.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unbelievably fun. I live for that, being on the big stage with the lights and all the people. I'm an entertainer, so that's something that I really love to do, is be on stage entertaining. The bigger the stage, the bigger the crowd, the better. But I also do enjoy the acoustic intimate sessions that I get the opportunity to do. So, like playing at the Bluebird here in Nashville, it's just such a powerful place to play, and it's just you and the guitar. So I've really appreciate both of those opportunities because there is something extremely special about that acoustic intimate show that you get to give to the audience sometimes.
Right. And when you've written a great song, when you can play one like that, and it's just you and the guitar, and it comes through.
Thank you.
You don't need tons of production and lights and all that stuff.
And I feel like
to dress it up.
Exactly. Those intimate settings are the chance to really show your songwriting craft. Yep. I feel like it's not just something that you can sing along to or groove to. Like a lot of times you hear at the big shows where people just want to be able to sing along, but you get to really focus on the songwriting and the craft and what that's all about.
Right.
I know that one is going to be stuck in my head all day.
No.
Me too.
Well, good.
In a good way.
I'm sure your mom was just.
How long did she cry?
I know. Well, it took a few times before I could ever actually even play the whole thing because I'd start to play it and I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't.
I bet she was really touched, though. I mean, I'm sure it was a special moment.
Yeah, she was. She's definitely my biggest fan and my biggest supporter and the person I look up to the most. I mean, she's just an amazing, powerful, strong woman that I'm really proud to be her daughter.
Well, you mentioned the big stage, NASCAR circuits. You've played some NASCAR shows and stuff. Tell us about that. How much fun is that?
It was so fun. So I did a 2-year stint with NASCAR, and I traveled all over the place. I mean, we went to New Hampshire, Michigan, Chicago, Charlotte, Texas. Kentucky. I mean, we were in Bristol. Like, we just went all over
Wow.
the place. It was incredible. Yeah. Lots of traveling, lots of meeting some really interesting people on the road. I
Yeah.
got to sing the national anthem at the Sprint Cup NASCAR
wow.
race in New Hampshire, and also in Bristol. And so those were some really, really cool moments for me. Just great experiences. I always say that I might have unconsciously chose music for my career path because I love to travel. I love to see new places and
Yeah.
meet new people, and my music has really allowed me to do that, and I'm really grateful for that.
That's cool. Yeah, NASCAR is big into trying to pull that music in. They see a lot more
Yeah.
concerts and stuff going on with
Uh-huh.
NASCAR, and it's the outdoors community even too. I mean,
Sure, it really is.
a lot of outdoors folks that love NASCAR, so it's a good combination. Music and NASCAR.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear. You also have another song called "Pass It On."
Yes.
Tell us about that song, and then let's hear it.
Yeah, so I wrote this song a few years ago, Nick Donnelly and Steve Mitchell. I wanted to write a song about the outdoors and how important it is to pass on that tradition and that way of life to the next generation, because being in the outdoors and enjoying hunting and fishing and all of those things, it is a way of life, and it is something that we have to preserve and pass down to the next generation. I feel like it's really important to do that. So I wanted to write a song about it, and it's called Pass It On. So I will play that for you guys now.
All right.
This might be a good song for us to
Here we
share.
go, theme song.
Theme song, yeah.
All right.
Coffee cup, I beat the sun, heading out to watch the world wake up, windows down to let the morning in. A fishing rod, a tackle box, drive to the gate, park the truck and walk out to the spot where the spotted bass swim. It feels like some kind of heaven when I'm knee-deep in the middle of a cold blue stream with my family, or out here deep in the evergreen. Now I know what it means to hold Grandpa's gun and give it to my son. This way life will be here when we're gone, if we pass it on. "12 feet up, 10-point buck, taking his time coming up on us. Me and Junior waiting with racing hearts. I track the red until the sun sets. Just another day we won't forget. Listen to the hoot owl singing in the dark. It feels like some kind of heaven when I'm knee-deep in the middle of a cold blue stream with my family, or out here deep in the evergreen. Now I know what it means to hold Grandpa's gun and give it to my son. This way life will be here when we're gone. We're gonna pass it on. Well, it's in this land and in our blood, so pass it on. It's up to us. It feels like some kind of heaven when I'm knee-deep in the middle of a cold blue stream. Just you and me, yeah, out here deep in the evergreen. Now I know what it means to hold Grandpa's gun and give it to my son. This way life will be here when we're gone. I said this way life will be here after we're all long gone. Pass it on. We're gonna pass it on.
Yeah, all right.
That's all I can do, not to play the drums over here.
Oh, thank you.
The imagery in that is so cool.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just, I feel like I'm right there, you know. It's
Thanks.
awesome.
I'm really proud of it. We actually have a recorded version too, so I'll
All
make sure I
right.
share that with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking that. That was, the brain was a churning there.
Yeah, you're listening to that, you know you've been out there doing it.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
'cause
Yeah, for sure.
The imagery of all that comes to life when you're listening to the song.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Passing it on. That's amazing. I love it. So tell us about your family before we run out of time. I know you're married, right?
Yes, yeah. So I just got married last May, 2018. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. We have 3 kids. My husband has 3, and so I'm a bonus mom now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
a lot of fun. They're 11, 9, and 7, all super into sports, and the little boy is like crazy avid hunter. I mean, he's obsessed. He's been begging for a bow for his birthday, so we ordered that last week.
All right.
Awesome. That's
so
awesome.
yeah, bow season just opened in Missouri, so he's wanting to get back there and get out in the woods pretty bad. But I have 2 younger brothers, both avid hunters and fishermen as
Yeah.
well, and I've got a niece who's 2, and my mom and dad have been married for 31 years, and so I feel very blessed. We all live on the same road, my whole family.
Oh, neat.
The
Wow.
furthest distance between 2 relatives is 1 mile
Yeah.
back in Missouri. So, yeah, we're all just right there together.
Well, it's great to hear these songs. It's great to meet you. It's been fun. I think you do a great job.
Thank you.
I love your voice and love the outdoor connection.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And the neat thing too about Liz is she loves to travel. A lot of artists, you know, they get out there and start working the road and think, man, you know, traveling's kind of a drag. But I can tell you are into it and you know, make the most of it. You get to meet people. I mean, music, you know, music just opens so many doors for life.
It does. It's exhausting sometimes, but,
Yeah.
you know, I just try to keep a positive attitude and think about all the experiences I'm getting to have that
Sure.
other people aren't.
Yeah. Well, tell us how people tell the folks how they can find you. You're on social. You got a website.
Yeah.
Rattle us off there. Tell us where we can find you.
So if you head over to LizMoriondo.com, all my social media is right there. I've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. And that's LizMoriondo.com.
Great. Yeah, I was on there this morning checking it out. A lot of great songs, great videos. One of the videos you don't want to miss is called "Throw You Back."
That's right.
That's a fun one.
Fishing song.
Fishing song.
That'll
So,
be her return visit here. We got to get her to do that.
We'll have to do that. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you, Liz, and thanks Don for jumping in here with us today, and
Sure.
thanks Todd for running the board. It's been a great show, great visit, and we appreciate y'all tuning in to Tennessee Wildcast. Make sure you check us out. We're on the radio, we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. We're all over the place trying to get this information out to you. It's the outdoors, so we want to share it with you. So keep coming back and keep tuning in, and we'll see you next time.